Welcome to Sheena Says, a podcast about wellness, parenting, and real stories.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sheena Says. And today we are discussing a very hot topic, alopecia. Now, hair loss, hair thinning, what is it? Why do we, such a large population of it, suffer from it? And what can we do about it? So, hair loss is very common in men, women, and children. Alopecia is when you are actually losing hair to the point where you are having bald patches. Now, alopecia is very, very common. 50% of men by the age of 50 definitely experience it. 25% of men begin losing their hair before the age of 30, and 70 to 80% of men have significant thinning or baldness. The key drivers, the DHT, genetics, stress, and metabolic factors will go into it. Now, alopecia in women is most common as a female pattern hair loss, FPHL, and the telogen effluvium. Alopecia areata is also an autoimmune. The stats are that 40% of women will experience visible thinning hair and hair loss by the age of 50, and one in all four women will experience hair loss before menopause. Now, 30 to 40% of women do experience hair loss, especially during the postpartum period, perimenopause, menopause. All of these hormonal factors do come into play. And then a lot of them come with side effects of birth control or IUDs. They, not that they're advertised as such, but they are a very common side effect for female pattern hair loss. Now, recently, alopecia in children has also started growing, and the most common type is alopecia areata, where the hair is lost in patches, and there is a good 20-25% of all kids, females as well as males, boys and girls, will experience this. And it comes from genetic disposition, it comes from autoimmune issues, as well as reacting to side effects of vaccines and other chemicals that they might be exposed to. The other large factor in hair loss is, of course, the psychological factor, which is stress related. So, stress is definitely going to impact your body physically. Hair loss is not a topical problem. That is why it's a $1 billion industry in shampoos alone and hair products, but nobody ever gets the results. You can buy 5 different shampoos and you would still have the same issue. So, what is hair loss? Why is it being caused? It's because our hair, simply put, is like roots of a plant. Our follicles are like roots of the plant, and they will definitely have an issue where you are not going to kind of see results. The follicles come out and then the hair will fall out of them if the hair doesn't get circulation. That's the main reason for hair thinning or hair loss, because the circulation, the blood isn't reaching your roots. You need blood to reach the roots of your follicles for new hair to grow, for hair to be kind of nice and full and shiny. And each follicle can grow up to 4 or 5 hairs. But what happens with hair loss is that each follicle will slowly start depleting in their production, and then you start getting only 1 or 2 hair out of the same follicle, and that's where hair thins. But if the follicle completely shuts down, then you experience hair loss. And that means that then if several follicles around there shut down, then there is hair loss where you will see bald patches. Now, what can we do about it? If that is the case, first of all, there needs to be a detox system. Secondly, you need to manage your stress levels. Thirdly, you need to boost your circulation so that the hair gets the proper amount of blood circulation in your scalp. Now, if you're severely stressed, that's not going to happen, because your pituitary and your thyroid communicate to each other. As soon as you have a cortisol spike, the pituitary will command the thyroid to absolutely reroute the circulation to your vital organs. Why? Because your nervous system thinks that you're not safe, that you are under attack, and they need to make sure that that is their first priority, is to keep you alive. Now, granted, the nervous system does not understand the threat between a lion standing in front of you or that you just got screamed at by your boss, but it does understand that you are, the cortisol will spike immediately, the adrenal glands will release it. The minute that action happens, a chain reaction goes into play where you are now going ahead and the circulation is removed from all your extremities simply because your brain understands only a threat and is trying to protect you. So obviously, if you're under a chronic state of stress, your brain will keep on rerouting the circulation, and you will find the state of your hair, your nails is going to be a lot worse, and your hands will feel colder, your feet will feel numb. All those are related symptomology to your stress levels. Now, if you can bring down the stress levels, great. If not, there is a Be Calm. There's a whole kit for stress to be managed naturally, and you can do some deep breathing exercises. Listen to my previous podcast about the nervous system reset. Please go to our blog and listen to the nervous system blog reset and find the kit if you need to calm yourself down, which will help immediately boost your circulation. But that's only part of the problem. Once that cycle starts, it's very difficult to reset it. So you have to make a real effort to make sure that the circulation in your system is boosted and your stress levels are brought down, your glucose levels are managed, and then you have to detox. If you are a female and you've been wearing an IUD, you might have to remove the IUD, detox from the IUD. Or if you've been taking birth control, please go read up on the side effects of that particular birth control and see if that's what you're responding to. Then you will definitely need to kind of detox from that, reset your body, then bring down your stress levels, manage to balance your glucose levels, and also simultaneously boost your circulation. It is not about the shampoo, people. I promise you, it's not about the shampoo. Otherwise, if it was that simple, nobody would have this problem continuously and ongoing. Now, it also happens in children, and in children, the alopecia areata is very, very quick. The onset is very quick and the progression is very quick. I've treated several kids very successfully. The thing is that it is very aggressive in kids. The patches form very quickly, but the good side is that because their cellular production and their metabolic rate is so high, that the problem can also be treated much faster than in adults. So the younger you are, kids, young adults, younger people, their alopecia is far more treatable, quickly treatable with homeopathy and with natural sources than it is when you are past 35, 40. Then it becomes a lot harder. Hair loss can still be managed, but rejuvenating your entire scalp becomes a little bit more challenging. However, it is possible. So don't give up hope. Now, if you are somebody who is very, very affected by it and your confidence is affected by it, that is also something that can be checked. It can be managed. Your confidence levels can be boosted because look, how we look is how we feel. So it is quite likely that if you are experiencing hair loss, your confidence is also thinning with it. But don't let that be your reality. Don't buy into that status quo that, okay, this is the way it has to be. No, guys, there is plenty of options available. There is follicle grafting, which is very popular in Turkey and India. It is available almost everywhere. But if that's too expensive or not an option for you, definitely go into looking into homeopathy. It offers a radical solution to your problem. And we have had amazing success with kids, with women, as well as with guys. So don't just give up hope on it. Research it, study about it, go read my blog, go to the website, look at alopecia kits, and don't keep spending your money on shampoos and products that are not really going to give you results. Now, doctors, if you're going to go to a dermatologist, they're going to give you steroid injections, as well as steroid applications. What does that do? Does Rogaine help? Very temporarily, and then you are actually dependent on it for the rest of your life. And what it does is it leaches more chemicals directly into your brain. So is it worth it for you to have side effects and chemicals leaching into your brain, or injections in your brain directly? Will that take care of the problem, and will it cure the problem? In the long run, no, the problem will stay, because they have not really addressed the root cause, which is actually your stress levels, which are actually your circulatory issues. So if they've not addressed those, that problem will really stay, especially if you're wearing an IUD or you're having it as a side effect of some of the medication that you might be taking. They can suppress it and they can block the DHTs, but they cannot make your hair regrow naturally or your follicles to be healthy again, only because they've not addressed it. So are those options? Yes. But you have to ask yourself, what is a permanent cure for me? How would I like to address this situation, and go from there? So homeopathically, there are several remedies that are very powerful in addressing hair loss. And one of the most basic ones is phosphorus. The other one is sulfur. You can also take fluoric acid and lycopodium for alopecia on the vertex only. But all these remedies they have to be analyzed according to your constitution. Now, we have made the perfect blend of formula that works for everybody, for kids, women, and men. But like I said, homeopathy is mostly customized. The formula for hair loss on our side definitely works. It's a generic formula. It will work. It's a starter kit. But if you are experiencing an aggressive form, you would benefit from actually going for a consult and getting it properly treated. Now, in the meantime, what can you do? Number one, do not apply oil in your hair if you are experiencing hair loss. There are many oils out there that they say are very good for hair loss, jojoba oil and coconut oil, and they have so many different types of sesame oil, that you have so many oils and so many myths and so many products out there for alopecia areata. But trust me, the more oil you apply, the more follicles you block, especially if you're living in a colder climate. And that is not the goal here. The goal is to keep your hair follicles nice and clean, and to boost circulation, not block it with hair oils and hair products. Use very basic level shampoos, natural ones if possible. And if you can do Head and Shoulders, that one is a very basic shampoo. It comes for dandruff, and it comes the Head and Shoulders that I would definitely recommend is the one with anti-dandruff properties, and it has the charcoal. Head and Shoulders charcoal is really good for you. Also, do not apply too much product. Try to use minimal amount of product. If you're having flaking or itching along with hair loss, please try an apple cider vinegar. Now, don't rinse with it. Apply it into your scalp directly after a shampoo and leave it in as a leave-in conditioner. If you just massage it into your scalp alone, it will deflake your scalp. It will reduce buildup, and it is not going to smell. If you apply it as a full hair rinse, then yes, you will experience a certain amount of smell. But if you just apply it into your scalp, work it in with your fingers, you will find that your itching and flaking will reduce radically. So try the apple cider vinegar wash, and try to step away from all products, and especially using a lot of heat in your hair. It will damage your hair. And if you're dyeing your hair, then try to use natural dyes. If you're dyeing it a dark color, use indigo and henna. And if you are dyeing it a lighter color, look at other options for your hair dyes. Ask your hairstylist. They do know there are a lot of natural products today that are really great. So ask your hairstylist what you can do naturally versus just going in for the first chemical product that you like. Do a little bit more in-depth research. Try the apple cider vinegar. try a charcoal shampoo, try a natural dye, try not to use that much heat, and please use a wide tooth comb brush. Don't just brush your hair and yank at it. Be nice, give your hair some TLC. Massage your scalp. There are those pronged scalp massagers. Use those. Try to decompress. And after all that, if you still are interested, definitely check out our blog on alopecia as well as nervous system reset. Look at the what the kits we have online and use those as your starting points. And once you start seeing a difference or you feel you experience it, then you can go further into treatment options. There is so many options. Don't just go for the first clickbait, which is your shampoo or a steroid injection, because those might seem like quick fixes, but in the long run, they really are not. So, guys and girls, please take care of your beautiful mane and keep doing it naturally. Do it right, and you will have your beautiful mane for a much longer period of time. And that's me from Sheena Says. Sheena is out for today. Until next time.
Thank you for listening to Sheena Says, and for more info, please visit yourhomeopathy.com.